Okay, that was the fugue in C minor. Is YouTube working? YouTube is working. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna ask what happens after this is over. Oh my god. Okay. So that was the fugue in C minor. Welcome to everyone who is joining us from Facebook and Instagram and now YouTube. Yay. So I'm only going to play one more movement from this today because honestly, the rest of this cello suite can be a bit of a bummer. And today is too beautiful of a day outside to really justify that. I was wondering if I could get my cajonist in on this next movement.
All right.
Yeah. So my partner and I often do this thing where he helps me mess up Bach with his cajon because some of these movements just sound really, really good with some percussion. And the G from the C minor cello suite is one of those movements. Right, so this is the one in 3/8. We've done this enough where we think we're pretty good without rehearsal.
Just like we rehearsed.
Just like we're rehearsed. I don't think we ever really rehearsed this one. You ready?
Yeah, count it up.
Nice. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining me on that. Okay, so that's all the Bach we're going to get this afternoon, I think. I'd like to turn today's concert into more of a feel-good music kind of concert. And I'm going to start with just some old favorites. I promised a couple of students some old-timey tunes. And hindsight being 2020, I should have included my banjo on this concert. Oh well, next time. So this is a sing-along. If you feel like singing with me, I will feel you in spirit. So here we go. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you by my side. When I woke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I'll always love you and make you happy. If you would only say the same. If you leave me, love another, you'll regret it someday. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Well, you told me once that you really love me. No one else could come between. Still you left me to love another, and you shattered all of my dreams. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I will always love you and make you happy. If you would only say the same. Won't you come back and make me? You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Hey, thanks for joining me again.
Sure.
Okay. Let me see. I've got another old-timey tune for you. I do know my Waterhouse Row partner is watching. And so we got to figure out how to do a joint concert one of these days. But I'm going to play one of the Waterhouse Row staples, which falls into the old-timey tune category. So for those students who are just discovering old-time fiddling music because, school's out and you have me for a teacher, this one goes out to you. And if you like it, you need to let me know because I'll teach it to you. All right, this is Sail Away Ladies. And it's an arrangement that I started doing solo, so I smushed another old-time tune in there called Indian Nation. And sometimes I toe tap. I don't feel super coordinated today, so maybe at another concert I'll do that. All right, this is Sail Away Ladies, squished with Indian Nation. Give my son, sail away, lady, sail away. Give the old one to my son, sail away, lady, sail away. Don't you rock on, daddy-o, don't you rock on, daddy-o, don't you rock on, daddy-o, sail away, lady, sail away. Come away, children, come with me. Sail away, lady, sail away. Got a home in Tennessee. Sail away, lady, sail away. Don't you rock on, daddy-o, don't you rock on, daddy-o, don't you rock on, daddy-o. Sail away, lady, sail Ain't no use sit and cry. Sail away, lady, sail away. Be an angel by and by. Sail away, lady, sail away. Don't you rock on, daddy-o, don't you rock on, daddy-o, don't you rock on, daddy-o. Sail away, lady, sail away. Okay, Brandon, I miss you. We gotta figure this out. Waterhouse Row in quarantine. Okay, I'm thinking I have a cross tune set for you, but I want to play a couple more things before I get to that because once you cross tune, it's really hard to go back to a regular tuning situation. What else could I play for you? I'd probably play waltz. Why don't we play a waltz? Let's see. Now, what waltz should I play? Yeah, let's stay classic. We're gonna do Tennessee Waltz. I've been working on a self accompaniment in 3. We're gonna see how well this goes. 2, 3, 1, 2. Yes, come over. I was dancing with my darling to Tennessee Waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced him to my loved one, and while they were dancing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. I remember the night in Tennessee Waltz. Now you know how much I have lost. How I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee Waltz. You know how much I have lost. I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee Waltz. Now I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee Waltz. No rehearsal on that either.
Just like we rehearsed
Nice.
it. What do you
Yes, totally improvised. And that's one of the cool things about living and falling in love with another musician. That was awesome. So let's see one more thing I could do for you guys before we go straight into tuning stuff. Actually, you know what? I feel like going straight to cross tuning because this stuff is really fun. All right, so I'm really excited to reintroduce my old friend to the world. This was my first viola. He was a gift to me from a member of my church back in Allen, Texas. He is an 1899, I think, American-made viola. Yes, 1899 viola, given to me by a woman named Joan Polis, whose late husband also played viola, and the viola had been sitting in a closet for years and needed some fixing up, so I did, and this was my first love. It's now my fiddling viola. It recently underwent some restoration so that a friend of mine could start his viola journey on it as well. But now that my friend has found a viola partner, I'm my baby has come back to me, and it has now become my fiddling viola. So I have cross-tuned him up, and I'm going to double check. That's my favorite part about drop tuning the viola. I get to drop the C string down to something really quite magical. All right, I'm going to start this cross tune set up with actually another waltz. We're gonna stay in the 3/4 territory here for a second. This is Midnight on the Water, written by the fiddler Benny Thompson. He was a teacher of the fiddler Mark O'Connor, who wrote the arrangement that I am about to play. So what I've done, since there's no arrangement of this for viola written down, I should get on that, is I've taken Mark O'Connor's dropped tuning and I've brought it down a fifth. So rather than having an open E tuning, you have an open A tuning. So what I have here is a low A, E, and A. That gives you a nice ambiguous open A chord from which you can pull out a bunch of different colors, and you can float between major and minor pretty easily. So this is Midnight on the Water. This kind of sits on the line between old time and Texas fiddling. Based on my knowledge, please, I'm only speaking off from what I know, but it's a beautiful waltz. So this is Mark O'Connor's arrangement of Midnight on the Water, rearranged for cross-tuned viola. That was good warm up. Let me double check my strings. All right, my drone string needs a little bit of loving here. If the octave isn't totally sound, then the effect is lost. Okay, next on your list is for real old time tune this time. This falls under the crooked tune category because its bar lines, I guess its phrases aren't entirely equal, which makes it a little bit of a beast to learn if you are not pretty well versed in old time music already. It's also kind of a beast to teach when you are trying to show other classical musicians how to play old time, which is a lesson I learned in studio trying to teach a group of classical violists how to play this tune. But we all had fun. It was a journey. This is Chinkapin Hunting. I learned this variation from the old time fiddler Bruce Molsky. If you haven't heard of his music, which if you know me, you probably have. I tell everyone about him. But if this is your first time hearing about Bruce Molsky, you seriously should look him up. His music is the perfect accompaniment for a day like today. This is Chinkapin Hunting, a traditional crooked old-timey tune for cross-tuned violin/viola. Okay, that is a quick, super old-timey tune, and I love playing it. And I look forward to the day where I can get together with other fiddlers and other violists and jam on that for like 10 minutes straight in person. All right, so we're coming to the end of our time together. I have one more cross-tuned piece for you, and I just want to spend the next minute here thanking everyone who's tuned in today. Thank you for everyone who shared and liked and posted. Thank you to everyone who has tipped in the past. Your contributions help enormously during this time. If you are interested in catching some more behind the scenes actions or maybe getting some MP3s of Classical Music Saturdays past, you can subscribe to my Patreon page, patreon.com/mcatlett, and you can subscribe for $1 a month and have access to all of my posts and my MP3s that I've posted so far. Okay, so this last piece here comes from the vault, I guess, the vault of things that I like to pull out for concerts when I have a little bit more time to fill and I'd like to put a smile on people's faces. My throat's getting very dry, so I'm going to try to talk less and sing and play more. But this was, this is usually a pretty popular piece that people request from me. This is my arrangement of Boys of Bedlam that I stole from a fiddler named John Singleton who lives out in South Carolina. The story behind this is that I was teaching at a fiddle camp. I heard John Singleton sing and play this. I was like, wow, what is that? Can I record it and learn it? And so I recorded it with my phone, which then died halfway through. So I had to figure out some of it for myself. But it's a spooky little tune, and I've been working on some new effects and new ways to accompany myself with it. So this is Boys of Bedlam. This octave string is not happy today. Okay. Boys of Bedlam. For to see Tom Bedlam, 10,000 miles I've traveled. Mad Marlin walks on dirty toes to save her shoes from gravel, and still I sing Bonnie boys, Bonnie mad boys, Bedlam boys are Bonnie for the young go better, and they live by the end. And they want no drink nor money. Went down Satan's kitchen, that's big for food one morning. There I saw souls piping hot along the spittle turning, and there I chose a cauldron where boiled 10,000 harlots, though a flame I drank same to the health of all such varlets. And still I sing Bonnie boys, Bonnie mad boys, Bedlam boys are Bonnie, for they all go better, and they live by the air, and they want no drink or money. My staff has murdered giants, my bag along that carries to come and spies from children's thighs and feed them to the fairies. And it's when Sally hath murdered the man on the moon's powder, his staff will break and his tongue will shake. They will howl no demon louder, and still I sing Bonnie boys, Bonnie mad boys, Bedlam boys are Bonnie, for they all go better, and they live by the air, and they want no drink or money. So drink to Tom of Bedlam, he'll fill the sea in barrels. I'll drink it all, I'll brew with gold, and with Maudlin I will travel. So I sing Bonnie boys, Bonnie mad boys, Bedlam boys are Bonnie, for they all go better, and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. All right, that concludes today's Blue Chair session. Started off as a classical hang, but very quickly devolved into something classic, but not necessarily Western classical. Thank you for everyone who has tuned in. Thank you for everyone who has shared and tipped and liked and mentioned everywhere. The more of this that happens, the more I can support other musicians who are in my position during this time. So thank you for joining me for another Saturday afternoon. I hope this has brightened your day a little bit. Thank you for bearing with me for the late start. Still figuring out this whole live streaming from multiple platforms things, and it's only going to get better from here, I hope. So thank you again. I will see you next week for the next classical open mic Blue Chair sessions right here in Randolph. See you later. Okay, goodbye Facebook. Oh, thank you for joining Instagram. This was awesome.
Hi, Facebook.
Now everything is posting at once. Let's end the YouTube live stream. Thank you, YouTube. Good to see you. And stream, and then what's happening with